Welcome to this Fontaine fifth wheel presentation covering rebuild procedures for the Ultra LT Series top plate. In the next few minutes, you will see how fast and easy it is to rebuild this advanced technology lock in just a few simple steps. Before we begin, remove the top plate from the vehicle, degrease the underside, and place it on a work stand or on a steady, safe work surface. Check to make sure that there are no cracks in the cross members or other components. Under no circumstances should a fifth wheel be repaired or used if any component is cracked or excessively worn. To perform these procedures, you will need a genuine Fontaine repair kit, part number KIT RPR-ULL for left-hand models, or KIT RPR-ULR for right-hand models. Make sure to use all the new parts provided in the kit and discard all of the old parts. Remember to exercise extreme caution, follow all stated and customary safety procedures, and be sure to wear safety glasses. Now let's begin the disassembly procedure. With the lock in the closed position and the handle retracted, remove the two main springs, then remove the jaw spring. Disconnect the operating handle from the secondary lock by removing the lock nut, flat washer, spacer, and hex head bolt. The hex head bolt is captured inside the secondary lock. Remove the cotter pin and washer from the operating handle pivot pin. Remove the operating handle and the locking wedge. Disconnect the secondary lock from the pull handle by removing the hex head bolt, spacer bushing, washer, and lock nut. Then remove the secondary lock and the pull handle. Remove the pivot pin clip. Then remove the long pivot pin that secures the rotating locking jaw. Now you can remove the rotating locking jaw. This completes the disassembly procedure. Before reassembling the top plate, inspect all moving parts that will be reused for excessive wear or damage, including the adjustment rod, operating handle, and pull handle. If everything is okay, it's time to reassemble your fifth wheel using the new parts from the kit. First, loosen the adjustment rod until it is moved about 2 inches from the starting position. This will eliminate interference when installing the locking jaw. Apply a moderate amount of grease to the rotating locking jaw, then insert it so that the hole in the cover plate lines up with the hole in the rotating locking jaw. Apply grease to the new long pivot pin and insert it through the top plate and then into the rotating locking jaw. Make sure that the notched portion of the pivot pin is inserted into the fifth wheel first. Secure the pivot pin in place with a new pivot pin clip. Insert the pull handle. After applying a light coat of grease to the pivot points, attach the pull handle to the secondary lock using the hex head bolt, spacer bushing, washer, and new lock nut. After applying a light coat of grease to the new pivot pin, insert it into the locking wedge. Then install the locking wedge. Insert the end of the operating handle into the slot at the bottom of the fifth wheel and over the locking wedge pivot pin. Secure the operating handle to the locking wedge using the washer and new cotter pin. Attach the secondary lock to the operating handle using the hex head bolt that fits into the secondary lock. Install the spacer, washer, and new lock nut. Tighten the lock nut. Make sure the fifth wheel is completely closed. Attach the jaw spring to the rotating locking jaw. Now install the main springs to the pull handle and to the operating handle. This completes the assembly procedure. Now it's time to adjust the lock. First, open the fifth wheel and insert a 2-inch kingpin to close the lock. The Fontaine Ultra Kingpin tool part number Kit Ultra KP is ideal for this procedure. Now turn the adjustment rod clockwise until it contacts the end of the locking wedge. Continue turning the adjustment rod clockwise an additional 2.5 revolutions. This will give the recommended 0.525 millimeters, or 2/100ths of an inch, running clearance. Now tighten the adjuster rod jam nut. The fifth wheel should operate freely and smoothly without binding or interference. You have now completed Fontaine's rebuild procedure, and your fifth wheel is ready to give you years of reliable performance. Follow the recommended preventive maintenance schedule, including inspection of the trailer kingpin and the fifth wheel locking jaw. This will assure maximum product life for your Fontaine Ultra LT Series fifth wheel.